we want to subtract this rational expression from this rational expression. So the first thing we're going to need to do is get the least common denominator, the LCD, and to do so we need to factor this denominator. So let's do that. Let's rewrite this as x over x plus 6 minus, now we'll get x minus 2 over, how about x, and for this 18, we can use 18 and 1 is not going to work, 9 and 2 is not going to work, but 6 and 3 will give us that 9 right there. So let's go with a 6 and a 3, and they're both plus. And now we can see that the LCD is, well, we're going to have this x plus 6. It appears over here, but we need it only once, and that x plus 3. So the LCD is x plus 6 times the quantity x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to circle that so I can find it easily. Now, I'm going to write one big fraction bar here, and I'm going to put LCD in the denominator. Then I'll go back and make any adjustments to the numerators if necessary. So what about this x? Any adjustment to that x? Let's write the x. And then to see any adjustments, we'll compare the original denominator to the new one. Now we've got it right here. So you can see here's the original here and here. The original is being multiplied by x plus 3. So if we multiply the denominator by x plus 3, we need to multiply that numerator also by x plus 3. All right. And then we've got minus. Now let's be careful here. What about this x minus 2? Any adjustment to the x minus 2? Well, let's compare the original denominator to the new one. No change. So no change on the bottom, no change on the top, no adjustment necessary. But we do have to be careful because we're subtracting more than one term, so we need parentheses to capture all of it. So minus the quantity x minus 2. All right, so let's multiply through here. So we'll get x squared plus 3x, and now distribute this negative sign, so with that minus sign, we'll get minus x plus 2 all over the LCD. We can simplify a little bit on the top. We'll get x squared. Now, we'll get a 3x minus x is 2x plus 2 over that LCD. Let's try to factor the top. Maybe it'll factor, maybe it won't. Well, as we look at this carefully, we can see it's not going to factor, right? How can I factor a 2? A 2 and a 1, I can't get a 2 out of that. So we're done here. So let's claim now that this is our difference. So we'll write it completely here. We'll write it as x squared plus 2x plus 2 over. Now let's actually write the LCD in factored form, and we've got it right here, right? Our LCD, we've got it circled up here so we can find it. So it's going to be x plus 6, x plus 3. There we go. Let's add these two rational expressions by factoring both these denominators to get the LCD. That's where we'll start. So we'll have 2x over difference of two squares. That will give us conjugates. How about x plus 3, x minus 3, plus x over, now we can get an x and an x. We could try a 6 and a 1, but because both of these, this is positive, so both these would have the same sign. If we tried a 6 and 1, we'd end up with a 7 or a 4. Okay, so let's go with a 3 and a 2 plus plus. So now our LCD is x plus 3, x minus 3. Now, I've got the x plus 3, the x minus 3. There's another x plus 3 over here, but both of these are to the first power, so I need it only once. But we still have this x plus 2. So we'll put that in there. And here is our LCD. So now I'm going to write a big fraction bar and LCD on the bottom. And let's make any adjustments on the top. So what about this 2x? Any adjustment necessary to that 2x? We'll have 2x. Now compare the original denominator to the new one. Whatever's missing, that's our adjustment factor. So here's the original right here. What's missing is the x plus 2. So this original denominator has been multiplied by x plus 2, so we need to multiply the top by x plus 2. So let's indicate that. X plus 2 plus, now what about this x? This x right here. Any adjustment to that x? Well, let's compare the original denominator to the new one. It's right below it. So here's the x plus 3, that's there. Here's the x plus 2, that's there. What's missing is this x minus 3. So this denominator here has been multiplied by x minus 3. So that's our adjustment factor. So we need to multiply the top by x minus 3. Let's indicate that. X minus 3. Now let's distribute. We'll distribute that 2x and we'll distribute this x, and that will give us 2x squared plus, and then 2x times 2 is a 4x plus, then x squared minus 3x. And we can still combine some terms here, so I'm still going to write LCD here. And now let's combine these terms. So we will get, right, 2x squared plus another x squared is 3 of those x squared. So we will get 3x squareds. And then I've got 4 x's. I'm going to subtract 3 x's, so that leaves us with an x over. Now I'm going to still write LCD because I can see that I can factor out an x here. So let's do that. Let's take an x out of there, and then we're left with 3x plus 1 over, now we can't do anything else, so I'm going to actually write the LCD, which we have, remember, back here in the circle. So we're going to have over x plus 3, x minus 3, and x plus 2.